At the height of this tweet storm, when I had attempted on the day that the Breitbart crowd broke the story, I contacted the chair of my department, the dean of the college, and the president of the university. They only ever communicated with me through their widely known press releases. And eventually, and this was fortunately during spring break, I emailed Castro again and said, so you might have heard that many people believe I want to kill them and want to get me first. Do you have any ideas on what you're going to do about that when I return to class on Monday? So in a conversation with the official of this university, what was said was, I said, what are you going to do about the security situation? And the person told me, we were hoping that you would address the concern of security by tendering your voluntary resignation. I love this school. I think highly of this school. And I was convinced that they would write that they would do something that is not just pleasing to their hard-right local sugar daddies, but that they would actually also discover a spine and get on the right side of history. But in hindsight, over the 4 months, where I didn't say anything because I was waiting for them to make up their mind how they want to deal with this in a sensible kind of way, apparently they were holding out for the fear, for the death threats to take care of me, one way or another. And that can't be. That is outrageous. Obviously, I took a conscious decision back from the spotlight at that point, but the main reason for that was that my employment was threatened. And I felt the need to settle that first, since Fresno State took the side of the accusers in their public statements. And then later on, to lend some substance to what I just said, their lawyer told my lawyer repeatedly, well, isn't he afraid? As if that should be an argument, Is that really how you want to deal with that? It's an industry. It's a death threat industry. Fresno State wants to dodge controversy. And in a political climate where controversy is the order of the day, if you want to keep it under wraps, you're empowering the people who are the loudest and the most violent. And of course, they've sent a signal in the sneakiest possible way, because they're narrowly complying with the contract, so that thinking, well, he can sue us, so we're good, in reassigning me to designing online courses. And of course, to be able for them to say in public, he's not going back to the classroom. That's worth a lot of money to them, because they're going to have to hire people to teach my 5 classes and pay my full salary, where I'm sitting, ready to teach these classes. You have many examples of how universities have handled these situations. You have at least a dozen now that we know about, where universities were put under pressure for the presumably outrageous views of the lefty faculty. The universities who had the least trouble with this were the ones who came out and said, you must be joking. This is a matter of academic freedom, freedom of speech, scholarly discourse, and we're not yielding to this whipped up storm of outrage. And it would be nice to see, it would have been nice to see what would have happened if Fresno State had taken that route. They probably would be in a lot less trouble, and they would have accumulated a whole lot less guilt in the process. And I don't know about the legal aspect, but I'm speaking morally. They're standing in the history books at this point as the first school that didn't just give in to right-wing pressure, but that actually did the bidding of the right wing.